stupid war that would have never happened if I were president. We have people going over there, Mr. VP. Do you have anything to say about it? Because you're very much involved. What's going to happen?
Well, we've got some conversations that are happening on the phone and in person with some of our representatives over the next couple. As the president said, we think that we're in a very good place when we find out that news.
And by the way, I have to speak of inflation. I love these socks. What's with these socks?
It's in honor of the T-shirts.
I'm trying to stay focused, but I'm very impressed with the VP's socks. I'm trying to stay focused, but I'm very impressed with the VP's socks. Did it the hard way also. He served to our country, and thank you very much. Do you know you have Rosie O'Donnell? Do you know who she is?
Name there. Who's your favorite Irish person?
Oh, there's so many. Are you kidding me? Well, I do happen to like your fighter. He's got the best tattoos I've ever seen. I don't know if I'm a big, but that.
Conor McGregor.
Connor.
Boy, you have. Well, Connor's great, right? You know, so many. I think your father was a great fighter, right?
He was.
Wow. And yet, look at you. You're so smooth and so.
He was a very good defensive boxer. He could duck and he could weave.
He was a really good.
He was a good boxer, yeah.
Right, that means you genetically. I'm not going to mess around.
Do you follow any?
Very tough. I was the toughest ever. But no, they never took anything from me. But he'll be fighting me.
I mean, what I would say, President, if I could, 1 second, just.
So.
Will you put more tariffs on the EU? Will you respond to their retaliation?
Oh, of course I'm going to respond. The EU was set up in order to take advantage of the United States.
Including Ireland? Is Ireland taking advantage of the US?
Of course they are. I can't, I have great respect for Ireland and what they did. And they should have done just what they did. But the United States shouldn't have let it happen. We had stupid leaders. We had leaders that didn't have a clue. Or let's say they weren't business people, but they didn't have a clue what was happening. And all of a sudden, Ireland has, our pharmaceutical companies and other, this beautiful island of 5 million people. It's got the entire U.S. pharmaceutical industry in its grasp.
Of the 56 signatories of that historic document, 3 were born in the island.
Country's most friendly state, Ireland stuff.
Our position, but it's genuinely to have people, because we've gone through this, we discussed this prior to the
Well, I'd love to have him back. I'd love to have him back, but he'll be fighting me on it.
I mean, what I would say, President, if I could 1 second, just make the point, it's a two-way street too. We are investing a lot more in America now, and people may not realize, but Ryanair, one of our biggest airlines, for example,
I'll trade.
AirCap,
I'll trade.
they buy more, the two of them together buy more Boeing airplanes than anybody else outside of America. That's a little known fact. It doesn't turn up in the statistics, but Ryanair and AirCap, big aircraft leasing company, Irish company, have done great work with Boeing, huge investments over the last number of years, So, and there's a lot of Irish companies here now, about 700 odd Irish companies based in America, morning investments. A lot of them creating thousands of jobs in America. And it's only fair. I mean, that's correct.
That's right.
That's the way it should happen. And I think it's a very good relationship we have.
And they've done a very good job. Now, I just will say this is a massive deficit.
Yeah.
I don't mean by a little bit. I mean, there's a massive deficit that we have with Ireland and with other countries too. And we want to sort of even that out as nicely as we can, and we'll work together. We're going to work together great, but the deficit is massive.
There's been a lot of on and off, some inconsistency.
There's no inconsistency, only with NBC, which is one of the worst networks on television, by the way. Let me just tell you the inconsistency. I have the right to adjust. And I'm not like a block that just, I won't delay. It's called flexibility. It's not called inconsistency, it's called flexibility. And I think you want me to be flexible too.
Is flexibility going to be your ongoing view toward?
Sure, I'll always have flexibility, but there will be very little flexibility once we start. April 2nd is going to be a very big day for the United States of America. The United States of America is going to take back a lot of what was stolen from it by other countries and by, frankly, incompetent U.S. leadership, grossly incompetent. I gave you an example of Ireland. I would have never let that happen.